This is the Dragon IHA-1 by Inspire by Dennis Had. Now, a patron of mine loaned this to me. He's a local. Well, he's in driving distance, because I wouldn't recommend shipping this to me if you are thinking about it. And he paid a little over $2,000 for this. And I'll give him this. He's got great taste in paint jobs. Because, oh my god. This is a balanced tube amp. And I haven't done many balanced tube amps. I did that IHA-22. He had the IHA-22, by the way. Didn't like it, returned it, got this instead. And then he said, hey, take a listen to this on your extensive lineup of headphones and tell me what you think. So this isn't really a review, as it is a what do I think about it. And the first thing I think is it's fucking gorgeous. Like, I'm going to pick it up a little bit, and it's 15 pounds, so hold on. I think most tube amps look like they came out of a shop in, you know, fucking Cuba. I'm looking at you, Tor Audio, although we'll give you a review tomorrow. And this Inspire actually is inspired. The paint job alone, the quality of the workmanship to put it together. Because mostly all tubes are a project. The only ones that are mass-produced are ones like the Dark Voice or like the Little Dots. And they're always mass-produced in China for the lowest dollar. This is starting price of $1,700. So they do a decent job. The front's got a cutout piece of Lexan. You get your on-off switch, 1/4-inch output, balanced output, auxiliary 1, auxiliary 2 with a mute in the center, because they obviously had 3 and they just didn't wire it up. And then the level control there is a clicky click. The back of this unit, excuse me for not destroying everything, power plug here, fuse. This switches between headphone out in the front or line out or pre-out, so you can feed it other amplifiers. There's your 2 RCA inputs. Nothing labeled, by the way. They didn't bother with like even getting a label maker and sticking on input 1, input 2. You'll figure this shit out. So this is input 1. I have it running off of a Topping DX7 Pro. I'm using as a DAC. And as soon as I'm done with this review, by the way, I'm filming tomorrow's review, which is the Tor Audio balanced amp. He doesn't have a name, like that one's called the Roger. There's a Tor Audio balanced amp. So I'm using this to feed that and this to feed this. So I was doing a little bit of comparison work. I'll talk more about it tomorrow in that review, because I got to save something. This is right at the line where it starts going a little bit beyond enthusiast. Like, I have the Audio Valve Solaris sitting here running. I've got the Dragon running, I've got the Tor running, and I got the Dark Voice running. Because I was having a little bit of like a tube orgy for an hour and a half before filming this. I've got my Sundaras, I've got the Sendy Ivas, I got my HD600s, and I got my Neumann NDH20s. Because these are, well, the Sendys, the Sundaras, I mean, I'm sort of like bringing them into the fold. I'm not 100% sold on them on tubes yet. But 600s are fucking standard. Hey, I like headphones. You have more than 2? If you have 2 headphones and you need a third, you buy HD 600s. This is still a valid choice to buy thing. Don't overlook them because they're old. They've been old forever. They've been great forever. These are the new boys because they're dynamic. They're 150 ohm, and when you plug them in, you actually can hear everything going on. Now, if we're looking at this as a Zeos Platinum level, which I think, what, $1,000 is probably the cutoff. Anything below 1,000 is like normal people can afford it. I mean, how do we even judge this? Because Joe, who sent this to me, is far from a normal person. Hi, Joe. He loaned it to me. He said, oh, by the way, this is the one with the Lundahau transformer upgrade. Because we look at the website. You can upgrade, you can option this from 1,700 with the upgraded transformers, 1950. Then you can upgrade the pre-tubes, that's another 100, and you can upgrade the power tube, that's another 100. So you can get as high as 2,150 on this amplifier. And you go down, and you look, and it's like, okay, a gorgeous metallic copper powder clear coat finish. Yes. That is the first bullet point on an expensive amplifier that I will not argue with. It is a gorgeous copper metallic powder clear coat finish. That is fucking crazy. That looks like a bumper car. Ever been a bumper card, like an old thing that's got that crazy big chunks of metal flake? Yeah, they wasted the entire bottle of metal flake on this. A stepped DACT 100K attenuator, running a pair of 6SN7s over 1 watt of output power. Yeah, 1.7 watts, less than 1% total harmonic distortion. That's not a little. That's enough. That's when you start buying $2,000 tube amps, you expect it to power any headphone you've got. An output impedance of 4.4 ohms, which is relatively low considering. Transformer Pro balanced output. 15 pounds the weight, the distribution. Noise floor is 87 decibels, which is good for a tube. 4.9. Okay. People who buy this, I guarantee you, will not leave the stock tubes in it. Joe didn't leave the stock tubes in it. I didn't leave the stock tubes in it. All I've been doing is fucking swapping tubes like a goddamn... Who's that, Damn it, I had a porn star's name in my head and it just left. Damn. Pasta's gonna be so upset. Anyway, here we've got... I don't even... Is this the stock tube it came with? It might be. And then we've got a set of... I think these might be the upgraded RCA tubes. For the pre, you can see they're labeled for matched pairs. And then we've also got a set of tongue soles. Made in Russia. And what I've got in here currently, I keep picking this thing up because I love weightlifting, are some PS Vane. Oh God, I did a thing. I searched my playlist. Oh, there we go. And then this fucking Sophia Electric Aqua 27496, I think. I don't know, it's the fanciest font I've ever seen. And it's a giant blue bulb. And those are giant mirror bulbs. Hi, everyone on the internet. This is a tube amp you buy. And I think maybe half the time you're listening to it, the other half of the time you're staring at it. Going, fuck. I can't believe I own this. It's so amazing. Feeding it in here and here. Swapping tubes. I ended up leaving these tubes in it because I set these tubes for the thumbnail. I might have taken the thumbnail with these tubes. Otherwise, I had the smaller tubes in, and I just put the light bulb tubes in for fun. I enjoy listening to this. You want to know my opinion on a $2,000 tube amp? Well, hi, I'm Zeos, and as much as I have expensive shit and touch all the expensive shit, I am not qualified to tell you about the $2,000 tube amp. I'm not qualified to talk about the architecture, how it's built, the design principles behind it. It doesn't matter to me. Hi, I'm Zeos. I do this as a hobby. I take some headphones. I take some music I know. I put it through said whatever box on my desk, and then I deliver my opinion. It's very... You think this job is easy? It kind of is. But at the same time, I have to sit here and listen to it. I have to sit here and listen to that. I got to sit in my living room and listen to those speakers. I got to do all these things. So this is one of the... I wouldn't say one of the few times. It's one of the times I just sit there and I enjoy my job. Everything I put through this, it was fine. It's better than fine. I was going dark voice. If I was using single-ended, something like this, where it doesn't matter that this is a balanced tube amp, I'd plug in a dark voice, then I'd plug it out. And recently, right here at this desk, setting it up, I'm like, hey, you know what I could do? Because I have these RCA cables go to the back of this 789. And this 789 also has RCA cables going to the back of the dark voice. So if I want to do a hybrid, which is a solid-state amplifier, being fed signal from a tube, I can do that. And sure enough, sure as shit, I did. In fact, let's do that. Set it to here. You got to turn it up way high to get the RCA outputs up to line level. You can plug this in. We've got Swagbot Beast Machine playing, which is from the 80s Dream compilation. What else can we play? Postmodern Jukebox. I want it that way. Okay. Maxed out. Now, do that. And I'm literally comparing a $300 amplifier with upgraded tubes to a $2,000 amplifier with upgraded tubes. Because the solid-state amplifiers are identical. Same power settings, same power levels, same headphone. The output impedance of the headphone is not affecting the tube or anything. So this is probably the best way to compare. This is probably the best way to compare how good a job this tube amp is doing at being tubey. You always want to plug into the tube amp. Doing a hybrid like the X-Duo TA20 is a way around a lot of the failures of cheaper tubes. The Dark Voice does not like planars. OTL, I think it's OTL. What's the design spec of the tube amps that do not like planar magnetic headphones? Because the resistance is too fucking low. They want higher resistance. So you shouldn't plug planars into a Dark Voice. You shouldn't plug planars into a Little Dot. But the X-Duo is a hybrid, which means it's a solid state amplifier sitting on the bottom that you're plugging into. And it's just taking the signal that's coming out of your DAC or whatever, and it's running it through the tube processes that are there. There are tubes, they are working. But the load is something manageable. What I have set up here is now I've made two hybrid tube amps. They both end in a 789. One just begins with a $300 Dark Voice, and the other begins with an Inspire Dragon IHA-1. Now, going back and forth between this, holy shit. Want it that way. The clarity over the Dark Voice, because I like the Dark Voice sound being fed through that. I like it. I listen to it all the time. I do listen to it. But oh my god. Okay, that's why you spend $2,000. And it's not just, oh, it sounds perfect. I could hit this switch and then unpause this music and then lower it. And now we're running straight Geshelli Labs Enog into that balanced, and there's no tube. This is no tube. And that's tube. That's tube. What a fun little game to play. And I'm so glad I can play it. I think if one of these sells, I've done my job. I'm sure when that review came out, there wasn't like a line of people running to Germany. But I need one of these. I need Helmut. Dramatic approximation of Helmut. Helmut. I need one of these. I'm sure that the line wasn't busting through the door. The point is, with these sorts of things, these sort of high-end audiophile products, you know if you're getting them, whether I like them or not. I should be the last voice you hear. If Zio says it sucks, maybe reconsider. This don't suck. This is really well built. We're going to discuss the problems of well built versus not well built when I get to that tomorrow. Just know that if I'm judging this solely on sound, it's a fucking pass. And based on build and looks and the fact that the bottom has a signature on it from Dennis had. Like, look. Okay. The man has a gold pen. 8/18/19. So if you want a signed tube amp, and I'm not sure how we got it signed, by the way. That might have been a special inside deal, if you know what I mean. This is what... No one's going to sign your topping DX7 Pro. The designer of that is some random team of guys. This is a project. The workings of the inside are Dennis's. And now Joe is like, yeah, give me that. So, I like this. I don't want to... Here, I'm going to switch that switch down. I'm going to pull this out. What are we hooked up to? I'm going to plug in the only headphones you'll need. HD600s. Lower the hell out of the volume before you plug anything in. Make something play. Oh. Just for fun. Actually, just for fun, let's plug it in here for a second and do that. I'm listening to that like bass drop. Hold on. Oh. If these two are close, you should understand why this $6,000 one costs so much, because you shoved one of these inside of it. Granted, that has more power, but that thing is ridiculous. So, A+, looks, A+, sound, C- price. I mean, you're paying for all of it. So, I'm not going to tell you to sell it for less. You have a I understand profit margins. You're not going to sell 3 times as many of these if you make them 1/3 the price. That's not how this works. You pay for what you're good at. This was made by a man. The man signs it. You pay him whatever he wants so you could have this sound. And plug in all your pretty headphones. So I'm going to move on now. The sound change between the tubes, I don't even want to get into it, because that would literally be how many different combinations. We have 3 different sets of pre's and 2 different powers. That's 6. I'm not reviewing 6 tube amps. Sorry. 1 tube amp. This. That's all you gotta know. You gotta know if you want one of these, it's gonna do whatever you want. And it's gonna do it well. And you got output to powered monitors if you fucking feel like it. So I'm gonna go dust this off now, because I think it's gathering a little bit of dust. And God forbid on this beautiful finish. I also want to get these ovens turned off, because it's, you know, it's November, but it's like, it's hot in here. Done with this? Good? What do you think? Does that wallpaper represent tubes? I hope so. Download that in the description, by the way. Patrons $2 and higher get access to every wallpaper I've ever used. $5 patrons are in the yard sale. I'm not selling my friend's tube in the yard sale. Sorry. But a whole bunch of other stuff will end up in that yard sale. I'm looking at you, AKG K7 371s. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I keep looking at them. Certainly the HE5SEs will end up in the yard sale. 1st to the 10th of every month. $5 patrons also get to see all these reviews early. Which means if you're worried about, oh my god, they're going to sell out Inspire Dragon IHA-1s. Well, don't worry about it if you're a patron, because it's only a couple hundred people that are going to see it. $10 tier, really, though, that's where Joe lives. That's where everybody who wants my direct input on their setups, their purchase decisions, behind-the-scenes stuff. They want to see video bubbles of my cat. You got it. You're paying to be there. You're paying to run this channel. You help me make the decisions. Hey, what should I release first? I basically give them all the thumbnail pictures I take in a session and say, hey, what do you think about if you want to be part of this channel, the $10 tier is where it's at. And then anything above the $10 tier is getting revamped so that it actually has reasons to exist. So, thank you to Joe for sending this out. I will very gently pack everything up and stop comparing it against the $6,000 Audio Valve Solaris. Although I think he's going to come here to get this. I think he's going to listen to that. And I think because the knobs are shinier, he's going to want that. It's just my guess. Anyway, that's all. Check out Hi-Fi Guides. I'm sure I'll put up a post, or someone will put up a post, or Joe will put up a post concerning the Inspire Dragon IHA-1 and how it works with planars and how it works with... Have a good discussion there. It's really working out that side. I love it. That's all for today. I'll see you tomorrow with the tour review.